Hello people, this is Blind Gamer doing my second video commentary for a online battle in Empire Total War. This is a early period medium fund America versus Great Britain battle. I'm in command of the Americans, mostly because of their long riflemen, but I'm using my standard army for early period medium funds, which is general bodyguards, 6 line infantry, 4 long riflemen, and 3 regiment of horse and 1 howitzer unit. This uses up all of the funds, so the money is really put to good use. Here at the start, my opponent was using what turned out to be his only cavalry unit to charge straight into my howitzers, which I noticed too late as I was trying to form up my main infantry, and my horses got there too late to save my howitzer unit. So I'd lost my only artillery unit pretty early on. I was quite annoyed at that, because then until I'd got my cavalry all the way around his army, then he would have I think it's 3 pieces of artillery firing on my infantry with no return fire. So that was a mini victory for him, although he now has no cavalry units, which at that time I of course didn't know. So at this moment I'm advancing my units mostly towards the forest on the left flank, because he clearly would have units hiding there. Everyone does. So I'm just lining up my troops, ready, waiting for these cavalry units to clear up and move forward, and then we would begin the main battle. Same with my first video. I've forgotten my opponent's name because it doesn't show up in the battle replays. So now those 2 regiment horses are going to be moving up with my 3rd and my general bodyguard in reserve, ready to countercharge against any enemy movements. My opponent has a force mainly composed of line infantry, a couple of light infantry units, that 1 regiment of horse that died at the start, general's bodyguard, and a few units of light infantry. But as you can see, he's mostly concentrated on my left flank, so I was moving my long riflemen over there, and because I didn't see any cavalry moving up towards my cavalry or on the right flank either, I decided not to deploy stakes, which is pretty standard for my tactics. But he was expecting me to charge in here, that's why I brought up a couple of line infantry units. Instead I'm just going to go bypass them, take them around the forest and take out his artillery. Here on my right flank, I was moving some of my long riflemen into the forest to encircle around as well, but I hadn't noticed his line infantry moving. I was looking over on my left flank. So, however, I quickly noticed it, and I brought over a couple of my line infantry, which I could afford to move over there because he was barely pressuring the centre of my forces or my right flank at all. So, and then once these guys had engaged, I pretty much left this part of the battle alone and concentrated on my left flank. So you can see here one of my long riflemen is already routing, so I decided to quickly bring up my cavalry and attack one of these units. Already they're starting to waver. You can see in the background my other 2 regiment of horse moving around, and now I'm bringing up my line infantry from the centre to encircle this little pocket of line infantry here. that regiment of horse did a very successful charge against my enemy, and now they're going to be charging into the back of these guys. Try and take these out. Very glorious just to see a bunch of troops just getting circled. No possible chance of getting out. Okay, over here, I'm not sure if my opponent just forgot about them, didn't see them, was watching another part of the battle, but my cavalry was just allowed to go all the way around. The reason I was walking is because they're going to be doing a lot of charging and running around, and I wanted them to stay fresh. So, but yeah, my opponent must have just forgotten about them, because they were just allowed to walk straight through. Anyway, now we're trading fire, and my opponent brought up his general bodyguard, so I'm going to engage the rest of that regiment of horse and my own bodyguard to try and take them out. Got them encircled again. Yeah, my opponent, I don't know whether he was just making a lot of mistakes, or he's relatively new, I'm not sure, but he did make quite a few errors. Anyway, see over here, he must have just been watching his right flank, because I received no resistance in charging in here. Even after I've attacked his artillery, my cavalry isn't receiving any resistance at all. So taking out his artillery was a big boost for me. And you can see in the background the fight on my right flank is concluded, and I can bring over those line of infantry and long riflemen to help in my left flank battle. And just there, the general has died, so the already wavering line of infantry here, they're going to be very demoralised now, as I try to encircle them with my cavalry. So by this point I had pretty much won the battle. Most of his units were routing, apart from, as you can see, that line of infantry just there. He's only just ordered them to catch up with my cavalry, although my cavalry are just going to leave them alone and finish up this little battle here, although they're already routing. So now I can use all of these remaining units to try and finish off this last line of infantry unit. Very brave, standing up to maybe 200 or 300 men. As you can see, that is the last unit now, and now they're going to be going in for a charge into my long riflemen. Very desperate charge. Getting gunned down. And so now, for some reason, even though my line of infantry in front of us, as we see it, are on far at will, they're just standing there. It's quite silly, really, but it doesn't really make any difference in the end, as soon the English line of infantry, who have lost pretty much their whole army, they're going to be very demoralised, and they'll rout pretty quickly, as they do now. So that will be a victory for me. Just watch them as they get gunned down running away. Oh, that was a very glorious death. So I deployed 758, killed 620, lost 333. My opponent deployed 762, killed 313, and lost 660.